the dog-hearted ones who said, a fight to the finish. And we have a lot of those in Jamaica. And they must be made to understand that when they take on the state, they must be prepared to die.
5 persons were killed at a football match. It was not an impromptu action. It was not an act of passion. It was not something that just happened at the spur of the moment. Someone sat and thought about it. Someone procured the firearms and the bullets. They may even have paid persons to do this. Someone stood as a lookout to say, now is the time. It was an organized activity. There must be no succor, no favor, no sympathy for these persons who organize that. They are criminals and they must be seen in that way. I have said before, when a similar incident like this occurred in Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon, that we will pursue them and the decision is theirs. Either they meet a judge or they meet their maker. I encourage them to meet a judge.
The police are getting much better intelligence and information. And apparently, one of the several gunmen, yes, he was confronted at his home on Rusden Avenue, or Rusden Road, I think it is, by the police yesterday afternoon. And it didn't go well for him. He went to meet his maker. I'm sure he would have loved to meet his maker under different circumstances. Minister Chang told us yesterday afternoon that he believes the police have enough intelligence now to successfully track down the other gunmen. That when they take on the state, they must be prepared to die.
I don't want to comment too much on the specific circumstances, but I note the report of the superintendent here who said that one of the persons who is suspect to be involved in the shooting, that they met what I would consider to be their just fate if they were involved. And the JCF and the JDF will maintain their posture of being very aggressive but just.
We'll pretty much hear a similar story from late Monday night into Tuesday morning, that Mendez, the 51-year-old, yes, that he was the main target. He had a history out in East, out in Rockfort, migrated to the United States about 20 years ago, and apparently has turned around his life and is said to be a U.S. citizen with a family. And he returned, and I'm told by a number of the people in the know out there, turned his back on the life of crime he apparently led before migrating and was trying to make good. As one community member said to me this morning, his heart was in the right place. But for whatever reason, before his work could be advanced, he was taken out. And more than likely, he knew his killers. More than likely. And then the community is left in trauma. People are worried. The police have imposed a curfew in the community that is to continue until sometime this evening. They may very well have to extend it, because the fear is that there are those out there who are prepared to exact revenge. And it's not a large area, and they know each other out there. They know each other. They know who is a relative of so-and-so. And this is why the specter of reprisal attacks is so real because there are now multiple targets, some of whom did not pull the trigger, don't know nothing about no pulling on a trigger on Monday evening, but they may be a sister, a brother, a cousin, a friend of the perpetrators. And that makes them a target now. So we've got to be prepared for that.
The challenge that we have always had in communities like these is that there are persons who claim that they lead the community, that they have some leadership role, and they ascribe to themselves the title Don. But I think more and more Jamaicans are realizing that these men who claim to want to protect the communities or call themselves elders or Don or dads or whatever term they may choose to describe themselves, they are nothing but criminals, lowlifes, people whose only intent is to undermine your security.